Thank goodness we have a lockout lift. I almost had to duck off to work, and then I would have been straight into a team list Tuesday as well. So thankfully we got there. It's a short week, guys. Let's sort it out. I got videos to put out, right? But we ended up making a little bit of rank this week, down to 1334 after being there at 1624 last week. So as I was hoping with 17 players that I'd be able to make a little bit more of a charge in this week, and obviously we know about all the big players that I missed out on, Latrell and Wishart, obviously the two big ones. End up bringing in Hughes, which was good. Happy with Samuela Fainu there with his 49. I got Piakura's 49 there. Some, around the 40 mark from a few of these guys. Brayley's 21 was frustrating with King's 39. But very similar to that of Jack DeBellin with his mid-30s score. Fafita's captain was solid. We had Kaipis Paul's 48. Cotter backing up, thanks you, sir, with 45. Karaz 43 was solid. The trade into Garrick worked out pretty well, 54. We had a couple of changes this morning. Drinkwater down 2, sadly. Grant up 1. Blore up 1. Hughes down 2. Kaipis Paul up 2. Cotter up 1. So a few bits and bobs that happened this morning there in this one. But yeah, that's the side this week. Happy with Atkinson's 39. Same with Iro with his 39 as well. It's it was kind of a pretty solid week overall. Just the Brayley one that was low. And outside of that, most people were pretty close to doing their job. Some did above what I expected. Some did just below, which is a normal week of NRL fantasy. But an 817 for me, and around 14 rank at 12,000. So yeah, not terrible there at all. Getting 17 on the park, and yeah, we used 4 trades. That was the big thing. I was hoping to make a few more meters, as they say there, in this side, and getting that sorted there for sure. But wasn't to be there on that one, and we do have a little bit of a look going forward there in the spreadsheet as well. So let's look to round 15 now. I've messed things around, mucked around a little bit, and put players in position for this week coming up. And yeah, Fafita likely will be my captain again, depending on the trades I make. But I do think that Hughes is going to be the one to go out. It's probably like a Wishart or something like that, unless something in that price bracket comes up that might be a little bit better. But with the news that Galvin is out this week, and someone asks confirmation, Tigers have said they're resting him this week, so that's what's happening there. I think they're saying he should have been rested a little bit while ago, and that's where all this manager stuff has come out, and where the manager's not happy about him sort of playing through injury and stuff like that. So that's where we're at with Galvin. He picked up a 33 last time he played there as well. So nothing special for Lockie, but he's had a really, really good season, and is a 643k. But with Galvin being out, I've got Fuller, Max King, Karaz, and Hughes. With Atkinson potentially not playing, I will have to do some mucking around. And you see here, I've got weeks that could come down into the wing fullback position. So I could pick either a wing fullback or a half if Atkinson is out, and then whoever I want on the interchange for Hughesy there, which will work out sweet. So at this stage, if Atkinson is out, I do have a feeling that he will come out. He will make way for Hines. If Hines is back though as well, they rested him following Origin. We'll have to see how his calves, if it's playing up or not, as to if he'll play. But I do hope that this week that Atkinson plays, because I was looking at some cheaper options for my side, and I don't really like any of them this week. It would have to be like a Brendan Hands, but I don't really want to make a trade on him right now when I could have this week just gone and got the big price rises, or get him the week before when he got the 55. So hoping that I only have to make the one trade for Sammy Hughes heading into round 15 there. I can't believe we're all the way to round 15 now. But in terms of my squad here, it does show a couple of outs, obviously, there, with Atkinson being the maybe. So if I was to go look at my mids at the moment, it's Plath and Cotter, which is cool. And then I do have Fainu there, so he covers the Hughes one. Galvin, with him being out, I've got there, as I said, weeks that I'll have to use to potentially cover there. But we're looking obviously to round 16 is the big one there. So it might actually be a little bit easier just to look at my side there heading in for round 16. And I do have, thankfully, Fainu, Plath, and King for round 16, which is good. Hughes will come out of the side, won't need him. And if there's an injury or something like that, I can try and get a Joe Tarp in there. For the hooking position, that is where I'm down at the moment. I don't have another hooker for round 16. To be honest, I don't even know if I want to make that extra trade to even get 13 on the park for just that 1 week, when I've got Grant longer term, and I've got Brayley. Hopefully he comes back and plays some big minutes again this coming week, and he doesn't stuff things around for my side. But If that's the case, I do think that might be worth saving the trade, not getting a third hooker in the side, or I suppose if Brayley goes really, really low this week, then maybe I could trade him to like a Reed Marnie or something in the following week. But then I'm short a hooker in round 19. So yeah, that's where Jerry Marshall King and these types of players could be a look in as well. So I'm not sure if making the trade just for one extra score, and that's all it's going to be. Like, yes, it might, if I go right up to Reed or something, it's going to be an improvement. But yeah, I don't think that's worth it for the side. And obviously where people are at with trades, I'd be thinking of that as well in your sides there also. So yeah, mids are cool. Hooker, I'm not cool at the moment. Edge, I'm good with. We've got Fafita and also Blore. Obviously there, if there's any issues with Fafita happening to get into Origin, then we can muck around with sort of our centers and bring Aitken up or bring another Edge in or something like that, if that's how it plays out. But hopefully that's not the case. In our halves, we would have Hughes and Weeks there easily to be able to sit that one there if Galvin is out. If I was to bring in Wishart, he was going to help out in round 16. So Fuller would come down for Atkinson. I'd have Garrick there, and then I'd have Wishart in for that wing fullback slot as well. And then in my centers, it'd be Karaz and Aiken would come in and play that. So as I said, Wishart, if that's the trade this week, Galvin is out next week. Let's just say he is. I'm not sure if that's going to be a 2-week injury, a 3-week resting, or just this 1 week. Obviously, if it is next week as well, then if we do have an injury, we can cover that, which is fine. If I could move Garrick up to center, Aiken can go to edge if Fafita plays Origin, a few different things like that. And we'll likely just be playing with 12 without the hooker in round 16. And it just depends how this week goes. If I only have to make the one trade, thankfully, with Hughes to like Wishart or something like that, then that would leave me 8 coming into round 16, and maybe I could use the extra 1 or 2 if there's injuries, and then if we want to get that hooker on the park to have sort of, after round 16 rounds, have like 6 trades remaining. That could work out pretty cool. And then for round 17, 18, 19, use that like 4 maybe would be cool. And then have a couple in the bank heading into round 20 when we get the extra 8. But it's still very low, and I'd want more. We'll just have to see how things work out over the next few weeks. And that's why I don't think using that extra trade to get a hooker in round 16 is too worth it at this point. But yeah, this week I only want to be making the 1 to get 17 on the park. But if that's not the case, then good chance I'll make 2 if Atkinson's gone, because we obviously don't need him coming into round 16. He'll have the bye. So if he loses a spot, like if Hines still is in Origin, like Atkinson's going to come back for potentially round 17 and then like round 19 most likely. But yeah, that's where we're at the moment with my squad and the potential trades over the next few weeks. I think that's probably all we need to say on that one. Let's go to the rankings and shout out to the top 5. So we've got Christian C. Patrick has gone into 2nd position. We got Fred Kushler and Joseph in the top 5 there. And if you're still in that rest of the crew there, congrats to you guys in that top 20. Good stuff. But yeah, Christian had a massive week, I think. Must have. 869. Patrick had a 779. So it's a bit of a lower one there. Yeah, Hopgood 20. Oh, he went up too. He was on 24 or something. So it's ideal for owners of Hopgood. In that update, had Kohler there. Had Latrell Mitchell too, and still end up with the 779. So that's a little bit frustrating. Did play 1 to short, holding on to Armstrong there. So fair enough. We had Joe Tarpany in there as well. Christian, really cracking week. But the big thing here, the big news for me, is that I'm almost 700 points down on first place, which is pretty fair given I'm 1300th at this point of the season. Squad value, at 13.2.5 million for myself. We're anywhere between just under par or tied with 12th there, Alex, and then all the way up to 13.8 to 85, that kind of position there with all the top rankings. So yeah, they're sort of, thirds, 140 points behind Christian there, which is a big jump. Let's go to, 11,389. The top 50, 11,745. So not that far from the top 50, to be fair. Less than 400 points, which is pretty good, to be fair. That gives me some hope that I could potentially make the top, let's say top 100. Let's go down to that, 11,745. Top 100 is 60 points behind. So yeah, about 300 points. What's that? 683. Yeah. I'm less than 300 points behind. Top 100. That's pretty good. To be fair, I think we can do some good things on there. And shout out to the Ugg boots that are 50% off there in that one Alrighty, let's go to the leagues. Congrats to some of the crew in the private group. Really smashing it this year. We've got Liam into 55th spot. We got Mitch down to 60th. We got Bevan down in the top 100 as well. So 3 of our 200 players in the private group are in the top 100, which is great. And then Shane, who was our leader before last week, got 765. Don there with a big week at 868, in at 219. So yeah, a bunch of, oh wow. Craigie boy, 964. What a massive week. Even with Tohu Harris and Jack DeBellin as well. With Preston's injury, but had Lomax in there as well. No Latrell, and still got a 960. That's very, very impressive. So congrats to those guys in the top section of the private group. Those in the NRL Fantasy Analysis community, we do have Joseph, who is coming 5th. Congrats to Joseph. We got James in there at 37th overall, and then Kobe sitting there at 39th. So remember, the winner of that gets straight into the private group next year. Alrighty, let's look at our head-to-heads for my overall team. We got a good win there. We got 880 put on us there by Flano's Flogs. Good stuff. And then beat Fantasy Phil. A close one there, close matchup. But yeah, obviously I gained a little bit this week, so it's a good chance that you're going to win a few of those matchups. But the Seeded 1 league is very, very tough. So congrats to all those guys. These are all the people that ranked very, very high last year and still in the top 200. We moved to the Podcasters League. So Austin ended up with an 840. Still a really, really good week there. And increased on his lead of all of us there. So 840. Daniel had a 771 into 257th overall. Austin in at 69. Nice. And then myself there, 1334. Only a slight lead there over Amateurs Boys' second team. I'm not sure which amateur, but someone told me the other week, but I forgot. There's too many. It's easy to remember me because it's just me, right? Dom in there at 776. So a little bit of a lead put on him after last week. And then Stu in there at 803 in 2500th overall. So the top 6 there, top 7 I should say, are sort of 2600 overall. And then you got Clint before Mark there making a bit of a charge there, 891, a big score into 4,372. So he was in a really dire spot sort of a month ago and has brought it back really, really well with some good trades. So good stuff to him. And it shows that you can do the same in at 4,300. Shout out to Scoop. He's on the charge back slowly, but this was a bit of a down week for him, 730. And a lot of the gains he was able to pull back last week didn't end up being able to keep them or gain on them this week, with Kohler's 11 and playing 1 short, with Brayley 21 as well. So not ideal there on that front. But yeah, I think we'll leave that at that for my overall side. Let's go to the SuperCoach overall side now, and then we'll get into the head-to-head side of things as well. So for my SuperCoach team this week, it was not a gaining week. Unfortunately, it was a losing week there. 4,119 I am now overall after losing 1,100 spots. Picked up 1,034 there. Wasn't too ideal at all. Did use 2 trades, and thankfully we're able to play with 17 with a few guys backing up. And let's just get straight into the game day there, just to show you guys what's up. But yeah, just my scores here. So Coruscant 75 with Galvin's 25. I end up looping for Fafita when he got the 81. I was happy enough with that as a free loop, given I only had 17. So took that vice captaincy. Both for more playing in the centers, only 45. He didn't get the try savers and stuff that he gets in fantasy. Val Holmes at 52, not ideal. Ellie Gatto was 61. I had Brayley in here as well. So that's why I was blowing up when I saw that and saw him not come onto the park. Hopefully that gets better. Isaac Tungo has just been a shocking pick for me. He has gone absolutely backwards, and I got him, not at top dollar, but I got him at pretty expensive there on the way down. Hughesy with his 35, had Curran's injury, 28. Drinky's 45, Ira's 50. Thankfully, the only good ones here, I've got Hughes' 117, Garrick's 93, Kaipi's Paul 60, Talangi 69, and obviously Brown 50 in that one. So yeah, nothing special. I would have played Willison over Hughes, but I do think I would have ended up with Hughes' score anyway, given I was going to take yeah, I would have vice captain, I think, anyway, and just copped. They would have scored similar anyway. So 1,034, not the best. Obviously, none of those big scorers like Lomax or Latrell. So that hurt me and my side there for sure. The head-to-head side went a lot better. But shout out to Matt Cosgrove there for the adorable Rossi. 1,438 he scored. Moved from basically 1,500th overall into 255. Absolutely incredible. Good stuff, Matt. Yeah, you can see my head-to-head side here. Got 1,229 and won my head-to-heads. Thank you very much. So yeah, 200 points difference. It changes so quickly there. what you can do in your sides there. And as I said with Matt there, he beat my side here by 404. Absolutely wild there for sure. I'm back to 37th overall in the Podmasters, and Brandon Savage with a 1332, a massive score there. Moved him back into 13th. You got Luke there in 86 and Mark at 103. And shout out to some of the other guys that end up with big scores there. 1250 for Mr. Sangster, almost into the top 1,000 again. Brian there with 1150. You've got, who else we got? Tim Villiami's down at 2100, so good stuff from him. Where's the guys that we all know as well? You got me down at 37. Who else we got? Brainball, 4800. Guru, 1238, a bigger week from him, down at 6,000 now, which is good. Where is Kuma? 1,040. So yeah, with me, still at 10,200. So yeah, not a great year for him. A bit of unluckiness for all of us at the moment. But yeah, that's where we're at the moment. Hopefully some improvements this week. Still got 20 trades and we'll go from there. But let's move to the head-to-head fantasy side now. Right, let's check out the damage done. It was an 877. Yes! We're back, baby. We are back. We are getting dug back. 10,912. We're almost into a good spot overall. And let's check out in a second our how we ended up with our leagues. But this is a cool way to see how you can loop in this scenario here, mate, guys there. So I ended up holding on to and deciding to play Hands over Hughes was the final decision. But I looped Nickera, happy with that score. I looped Blore, I was happy with that score. I then looped Cole, and I was happy with that score. If I wasn't going to be happy with Cole's score, I would have taken Hughes over Cole. But as soon as he went well at 59, I left Hughes down there. I thought Hands would be able to outscore Sam Hughes in this one. So I played Hands in my interchange there, which was cool. So the first loop there with Nickera was to put Plath in the starting side, and Cotter... it was between Cotter and also Hughes. So if Cotter didn't do very well, I could have put Hughes over the top of Cotter in interchange 1 or 2, which then mean if Plath's out, I'd get Hughes' score and I wouldn't get Cotter's score because I just play... I'd end up getting both, to be honest with you there. But I could do some looping in other positions with Nickera if he wasn't... if I didn't rate his score, I could have not taken his and popped everyone else ahead of him and... sorted that out there. Put Hughes in the starting side and put the other guys ahead is how I would have played that one out. But it wasn't to be. I ended up being Hughes. I lost out by 2 points, but that was good looping in the end for the most part. But Wish Out coming to side with 86 was good. Reed Marnie's 55. Happy with that for Feeder's captaincy. We had Garrick in the side. Obviously, we had for a while. Talangi's 45 there. Brown a bit low. But Cole's 59. Nickera's 55. All good stuff there in that one, and it picked up a really good score of 877. So let's look at some of the leagues. Did we win? We won the first one. Good stuff. We won the second one. We won the third. We won the fourth. We won the fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, and 10th. There was a whitewash for the head-to-head team this week. We are back, guys. We got third, 6th, 10th, 6th, 2nd, 6th, 4th, 16th, gross, 3rd, and 8th. So we've got some work to do in a few of these comps just to try and get ourselves back to sort of top 4s and in better positions. But that was a great start, and hopefully we can build off that. I did end up making a decent amount of trades again this week, but it is what it is. We're down at 8 and 193k in the bank, and we'll sort these things out here. Obviously holding Manu, Weeks, Plath, all through that was it was helpful there. And we'll get ourselves in a good position for this week and for the weeks coming up there as well. So that was good stuff there in that one. And then let's have a look at our SuperCoach head-to-head team, which got some wins. So yes, 1229 for this team. And I ended up winning all of my head-to-heads, which is great news. Team value over 15 mil. We're into a better season rank, obviously, but that's not the most important part for my team. It is the fact that I got some wins in my head-to-head. Happy days, oh happy days. All right, we moved into 13th in the important one there, and then 15th in the other one. So surprisingly, not a lot of movement, which wasn't ideal, but ended up really coming in over the top of a few of these guys there. They just feel their players killed it. Like I think this one here, we end up having a Latrell vice captaincy, so I had to cop that. But so instead of taking Fafita's vice, I ended up going for Adam Fanua-Blake as the captaincy just because I needed a bit of a push, and thankfully he scored that try, which helped me get going. I got Hughes and Meaney, obviously the big scorers there. Sean Lane came out and played awesome through the middle, so I was really impressed by that. Having Talangi there, brought in Katoa late to make the to make 17 this week because I wanted to try and get a win in these head-to-heads, and I've still got Johnson to return along with Smithy, Strange, Asako, Plath Terrell May, and Dom Young. So I think my head-to-head side's in a really, really good spot. After getting wins in a really tough week for me, I'm super happy about that. Won't be making any trades this week, and hopefully have a lot of good enough players to be able to get some wins in this head-to-head. And that's my plan. That's where we're at, and that's what we'll be hoping to do coming into round 15. So we come up against 4th, the Kellyville Canaries, Trent, and then Sean Lyons there. 13th versus, so that's in the public lead. 13th versus 14th in the $50 one, and then 15th versus 13th in the $25 one. So excited for those matchups, and hopefully I can get a win and push myself to around 10th and 11th before the end of round 15. Really, really need to start moving now, and we're going to be going all in on trying to make these head-to-heads, but I don't think I'll be needing to make any trades this week due to the setup that we've got. But we'll see where we're at, and we'll make some decisions from there. So thanks for being here, guys, for the round results, and we'll catch you in that TLT in about 3 hours, or 3 hours once I'm home from work. See you, team.